Because what I teach is a lot of people are seeking validation, seeking safety, seeking enoughness on the outside. Did you see what I did? Did you see my house? Did you see my presentation? Did you see my bank account? Did you see my biceps? Whatever. And even if we get someone's attention, we got to keep it together in order to keep that attention. And it's exhausting. How do you help people find it on the inside?
Well, the key thing is first understand what you're trying to create. Right now, the thing with the human mind is belonging is the most important thing. Like the human mind's greatest need is to be understood. It doesn't matter what personality or what gender you are, right? So being understood and wanting to be belonged, that's when we sit there and say, well, if I have the nicest car in the neighborhood, well, I'll get that attention. You know, if I have the nicest suit, if I wear my Prada shoes, then I can walk around and be proud, and people can sit there and say, wow, he or she's successful. Mm-hmm. And really, most people want to be successful, but they can't even define what success really means to them. Right? It's like almost people saying that, you know, I'm committed to my relationship. I'm committed to my wife. I'm committed to my husband. But if you ask them, well, define commitment, they have no idea how to define it. So if you can't define these things, how do you actually live it? So the first step is always understanding what you're trying to create and what it really means to you. Like, why are you truly doing this? The root. Because that's where the true connection is.
How do you go into that environment where you've got to keep it together, right, and got to get results and all? How do you open your heart? How does a guy do that? This is beautiful because a lot of who we think we are isn't who we are. There's like a scared little somebody or an angry little somebody or an ashamed little somebody, like all these little people inside of us. And the work I do is what I call sitting in the fire. How do you go into a corporate environment and look at a sea of people who are at various levels of authenticity, and you can see their lack of authenticity is also their lack of results.
Right. But see, taking care of a woman means different things, right? It's not that
I believe your capacity to feel. Hope you can hear me. There's a big plane going over or something. Do you believe your capacity to share those authentic feelings, in the name of your second book, you know, The Courage to Be Naked, do you believe that capacity to do so with another begins with your capacity to do it for yourself, like willingness to embrace discomfort? And what are some of these systems in place that you have so that you can do this yourself and not get lost, especially women? As soon as we start to feel emotion, we're very emotional creatures. Sometimes we can become the emotion and it takes us out and we become drama queens. So instead we just shut down. We don't feel anything. What are some of the ways you go into that feeling to listen, to become aware, to get the lesson, to move on?
Right.
Tell me what it's like, because you travel the world and you speak in a lot of these, you know, corporate environments. Tell us about women today. Tell us about, like, I'm sure they're beautiful, but is there anything you want to say to some of the women who might have created this almost like a little, they're almost in their own prison of their own making, you know, trying to keep it together. I can open the door of myself, thank you very much, and, you know, I'm not going to be all feminine because that's weak. And what's it like for a guy to interact with, like, stereotypic corporate America women? What's fabulous about it? What's missing about it? Give the guy's perspective. Thank you. What do you think is really sexy about women? Ooh, I got a dramatic pause.
Are you talking mentally? My mind just wandered for a second.
No, enjoy the wandering. Enjoy the wandering. Because this is an interview both for men and women.
Yep.
And it's important that women understand the truth of what is attractive about them, what is sexy about them, so they can read